I'm extremely proud of our football team, as proud as I've been of our football team the entire year. That environment was really, really challenging for us, and we stayed together that fourth quarter. We stayed together the whole game. We played with tremendous energy tonight. I felt the powder blues the whole game in all three phases, and that's why we won the game, is because when it was tight and the crowd was going crazy against us, our guys were ready for a fight today. And I know how the game, expressed itself in that fourth quarter, and it turned into a wild ride. But we were ready for it because we've played 9 games before today where we've been preparing for a fourth quarter like that. And when the fourth quarter happened the way it did, our guys stayed connected. We played our best at the end. We finished the game on our terms. And I can't say enough about our players and coaches because that's as good of a win as we've had.
Brandon Staley, coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Mike, when the Chargers were playing in that 30,000-seat soccer stadium and it was being routinely overrun by fans of the opposition, the Chargers' kind of quiet, oh, by the way, argument was it'll be better when we have our new stadium, our bigger stadium. No, it'll be worse because the percentage is still going to be the same, if not greater, of fans of the other team, because there was 20 years with no NFL team in the market, so you can follow any team you want. So that team comes to town, I'm getting tickets, and I'm going to see the Steelers play, the Packers play, the Vikings play, this team play, that team play, anybody but the Chargers. We don't care about the Chargers here. And to hear a head coach say how challenging the environment was for a home game is jarring to me. Kudos to the Chargers for getting the win. And they're going to be battle-tested.
Right.
Hey, there's no such thing as a road game. Every game is a road game for the Chargers. They're the Washington Generals of the National Football League.
Listen, when there was talk of 2 teams going to L.A. when I was still doing a show, I was like, I don't know about this. There's just we've seen teams not do well in L.A. There's just a ton to do. There can be apathy toward football because there's so much else to do, and then especially if the team isn't going to be very good. So that was my thought is, man, who the hell is going to come to these games? They're barely going to fill the place. And when a team like Pittsburgh or a team like Dallas or some other great traveling team, but those are 2 really big ones, travels, that used to happen in Arizona. When Dallas played out in Arizona, there'd be more Cowboy fans out there. They just travel better, and it's tough when you're sitting in the stands going, wow, what the hell is going on? Until you become not only a good team, but a consistently good team. And that's where the Chargers could be heading right now. When you have a young, excellent quarterback like they have in Justin Herbert, the way he's playing, maybe they're going to turn that tide around. Mike, in all honesty, it's not shocking to me that goes on right now for them. Because we saw Herbert start, obviously his first year last year, start to go, whoa, wow, he's making us think he can do a good job. They revamped some nice areas, like on the O-line in the offseason, and now they're coming out and they put up points. They can be an exciting team to watch with a young quarterback who was, incredible on the ground last night. 9 runs for 90 yards, and he's got that great slide where he just slides and pops right back up. So maybe they're going to turn the tables there and become that consistently not only good team but fun team to watch and get that crowd to be theirs at some point. But it's not shocking to me that at first it was going to be tough to turn, that they weren't going to automatically have, a full stadium all behind them when they moved there. I didn't think there was any way that was going to happen.
They got off to a great start this year. They were 4-1. They beat, well, it was the loss to the Baltimore Ravens. It was the first kind of, what's going on with this team, 34-6. That was the first warning shot, and then since then they've struggled. They lost at New England. They barely beat the Eagles, and the Vikings took care of them 2 Sundays ago. But now here they are at 6-4. They're still very much alive in the AFC. There's a lot of teams at or over 500. But they need to build on what they did last night. And they need to forget about the 17-point lead that they blew. To me, it was under those circumstances when the Steelers came back and took the lead, and it felt inevitable that the Steelers were going to win that game. For Justin Herbert to find Mike Williams for the touchdown that delivered the victory. And then, hey, the Steelers got the ball again, but they're not built to go 80 yards in 2 minutes. They're just not. And the Chargers stepped up and got it done when they had to. So, you know, it really was maximum adversity. Brandon Staley's right. The Steelers felt like they'd won that game, and then there came Herbert and Williams, and that was that.
And this was, you know, you look at that game, and it's what, a 17-10 game at halftime. Some people may have kind of went away from it, even though that's somewhat is a close game, but it was 17-10, and then 10-0 Chargers outscored Pitt. So now it's 27-10 going into the fourth quarter. Who knew we're getting 41 points alone in the fourth quarter? And you look at moments. So you see all the points that Pittsburgh scored in the fourth quarter. But I look at the first points they scored in the fourth quarter, Mike, when Boswell kicks a 36-yard field goal. Understand a 36-yard field goal, that means the ball, he's kicking from the 26. That means they're snapping from about the 18. They're inside the 20-yard line. So good job there by the Chargers holding them to that field goal. Could be a different story if they get a touchdown there instead of a field goal. You look for moments like that where a defense gives up, however it happens, whether it's a turnover and you have bad field position or you give up a bunch of yards, you're bending, and then it gets down to the red zone is, okay, now we're here. Either we got to get a turnover or at the very least, we have to hold them to a field goal attempt. Do not let them get in the end zone. And that's what the Chargers did there. I look at a play like that, you know, where you get 3 instead of 7. And where how big of a difference that can be, even though there were points all over the place in the fourth quarter. To me, there was something about that one right out of the gate. Teams inside the 20-yard line, and you kept them out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's a great point. On a night when 78 points were scored, if it's 3 instead of 7 once or twice, that's enough to make a difference in the final analysis. And, you know, the bottom line is the Steelers have to be feeling like they let one get away, even though they were you know, it felt like this was going to be one of those moments where the Chargers blow it, the Steelers pull it off, and to turn it around the way they did under those circumstances was incredibly impressive. And now the Steelers have to shake it off because they've got a tough stretch if they want to keep their hopes at getting to the postseason alive. One last thing coming out of this game, because there were a few hits that you know, a little questionable. It was a physical game. But the Cam Hayward, I was waiting for Ben Dreith to show up and say he's giving him the business down there. After that 36-yard run by Justin Herbert, it turned into a pro wrestling match, Mike. I mean, I guess guys get frustrated. And great hustle by 97. He gets down there and makes the tackle, but then he flips him over. He flips him over and he goes for the pin. Hey, get over there. Boom. Oh, what is going on? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've never seen a hit like that so far after the play was over. Look at that. Oh.
A couple of things. When you're that size and you run that far, you're going to get your money's worth. Okay? You have to. I mean, he looked dead tired by the time he got there. So he wanted so badly to get some oxygen. So, like I said, I think you get your money's worth when you get there. Yeah, was it a little much? Yeah. Was it worthy of an all-out brawl? No, but it's your quarterback. So, obviously, the offensive lineman needs to get down the field. No, by the way, now they got to run all the way down the field as well and protect your quarterback.
Can we show that again, though? It almost looked like the WWE kind of fake pulled punch. Like he really didn't give him the full blow to the midsection. Like they used to do. I remember when I first started watching wrestling, it's like, why do they stomp their foot on the ground when they punch the guy in the face? I didn't understand. That was, to create the sound in lieu of actually didn't watch. When he spins him over, it really isn't the full. Now Justin Herbert may say, yes, it was, but it didn't look like it was the full driving punch. But still, he's going to hear from the league office. He's going to be making an involuntary contribution to the charity of the NFL's choice.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.